We're going to do the T cell pathway. Okay, do you want me to go with number 6 on, or do you want to do like restart number 1?
6, please.
Okay, I'm going to do 6. Fine. So you're going to do start first 5, and then we're going to do number 6 over here, the T cell pathway. What happens when I activate basically that system? All right. So the helper T cell activates a cytotoxic T cell. Okay, medical terminology, folks. Cytotoxic means kill cells. So it's a killer. Called it the ninja cell. Okay. Which one does it activate? Only, oh, you can't see that. Only one that matches original non-self. So the only cytotoxic T cell that gets turned on is the one that matches the non-self antigen. Remember, this is specific. So this concept here is what makes it specific. I'm only turning on one cytotoxic T cell, the one that matches the original antigen or complementary binds to it. What are you going to tell that cytotoxic T cell to do when you activate it? No, not yet.
Yelp?
No.
Is that the memory part?
Nope. Notice I have singular, a cell. Take a guess what you probably want to do.
Activate more.
Have more cells. Army of 1 doesn't work here, right? So how are you going to make more?
Let them know. Spread the word.
Recruit.
So number 7. That's a 7, isn't it? Oh, is that 7? The cytotoxic T cell. The one from up there, the one from number 6, proliferates. Okay, that's a Saladin word. Can someone give me a word that means proliferate?
Makes more.
Makes more. We could say clones. Okay, from Biology 112, tell me about clones. What's so special about clones?
Exactly.
They're exactly the same. So that means if this cytotoxic T cell clones, all the T cells would match the same non-self antigen, right? Because we're all going to be identical or the same. So that means every cytotoxic T cell would match the same original antigen, right? Again, we're specific. So let's look at that. I'm going to show you a picture of a cytotoxic T cell. So back to here. Here was step 5. Body cell APC, telling helper T cell what's going on. Helper T cell then uses interleukin 2, turn on this guy. Here's a cytotoxic T cell. If you notice, this T cell can also match the exact same antigen. Therefore, I'm going to proliferate or clone that one, the one that matches only the original non-self antigen. So then I'm going to end up with a bunch of cells. Hey, look, they're all the same. Wow, that's the point. So I've made a bunch of army men that all will recognize the same shape. All right? So what are they going to do now they made all these army men?
Kill the.
Well, let's figure out. Step number 8. Cytotoxic T cells. Find all cells with non-self antigens. Which non-self antigen?
That specific.
The original one from up here. So I'm learning, right? I'm teaching these cells what shape to go after. So the cytotoxic T cells will now find any cell in your body that matches that shape. And what do you think a cytotoxic T cell does to these cells, say ye?
Kill it.
They will kill it. Cytotoxic T cells kill all cells with the non-self antigen. If you have the wrong shape, you are dead. If you have that shape. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find any cell that's the non-self and kill it. So let's look at that on the screen. Here's a cell. Gee willikers, it's got the non-self antigen. What am I going to do to it? Blah! Right? Because if I kill you, I kill what's inside of you. And that's the logic of the immune system. Right? So the goal of the T cells is to kill anything that matches the original non-self cell. Okay. So let me show you another animation of that process.
Cell-mediated immunity is a host defense used to fight intracellular pathogens and abnormal body cells, such as cancer cells. The protagonists of cell-mediated immunity are T lymphocytes, which can be divided into two groups, helper T cells and cytotoxic T cells. Helper T cells secrete cytokines to activate other cells of the immune system, while cytotoxic T cells attack infected cells directly.
Remember, this is the general. He just gives memos. Here's the worker who's actually going to kill stuff. So we call them the assassins, the ninjas, whatever. But the cytotoxic one kills. This one orders. All right. Let's do this one.
Helper T cells are the generals of the immune system and are responsible for directing the activity of the immune system. They are activated by antigen-presenting cells. Active helper T cells proliferate and differentiate into memory T cells, as well as two populations of helper T cells, Th1 and Th2. Th1 cells primarily activate cells related to cell-mediated immunity, while Th2 cells primarily activate cells related to humoral immunity.
So remember, the helper T cells are going to turn on the Bs and the Ts. So this round, we're just doing the T cells. Right?
Cytotoxic T cells are the warriors of the immune system and locate and destroy infected or cancerous cells in the body. They are activated by infected cells and the cytokines produced by helper T cells. Active cytotoxic T cells proliferate, producing additional active cytotoxic T cells as well as memory T cells. Active cytotoxic T cells destroy their targeted cells through cytotoxic pathways such as the perforin granzyme pathway.
What are those things there? Holes, pores. So what happens to you when I put holes in you?
Leak out.
You die and leak out. What happens to cells when you put holes in them?
They leak out.
They leak out and die. Right? That's biology 112. I lose the integrity of the membrane, the cell dies. So the cytotoxic T cells are punching holes, literally, in body cells to kill whatever's inside of them. You've just been shot. Right? Biochemically. Die. So if we go back through it a little slower, right?
Each cytotoxic T cell produces a unique T cell receptor, which corresponds to a specific antigen.
So notice the word again for specific. This cytotoxic cell will only kill or match one shape. That's the shape the helper T cell told it to find. Right? So that's the specific concept.
Each cytotoxic T cell also produces a receptor called CD8, which recognizes the MHC molecules of infected cells.
So
When a cytotoxic T cell encounters an infected cell with the specific antigen found in an MHC molecule, the cytotoxic cell produces receptors for IL-2 and other cytokines, such as gamma interferon, or IFN gamma. The cytotoxic T cell can then be activated by nearby cytokine-secreting active helper T cells.
Okay, so that's step 5. I'm activating my killers, and they're going to clone.
Once a cytotoxic T cell becomes activated, it proliferates, forming a clone of cells specific to the same antigen. Some of these cytotoxic T cells differentiate into long-lived memory T cells, but most mature to attack and destroy infected cells.
And then those ones would then...
Cytotoxic T cells can destroy infected cells through multiple pathways. The best understood of these pathways is the perforin granzyme cytotoxic pathway. When the cytotoxic T cell encounters an infected cell with the target antigen bound in an MHC molecule, the T cell secretes two types of protein molecules, perforin and granzyme. The perforin forms a pore in the membrane of the target cell, allowing granzyme to enter the cell. The granzyme activates enzymes inside the cell, leading to cell death.
Pretty cool. So if you have the wrong shape on, I will kill you. All right. Let's talk about that one cell back there. There was another one over on the side. So you had the active ones. What were those other ones off to the left? What were they called?
Memory T cells.
Memory cells. Let's put those over here. Watch your eyes. Step 10. Some T cells don't kill. Egad, they don't kill something. So what do we call the ones that don't kill? Those are the memory cells. Remember we said you can call this the learned defenses? They learn, they have memory. Why in the world would you want some that don't kill?
So if it comes back.
That's right. In the Army, they call these the reserves. Why do you not send all your men to the front? Because if you have to fight again, you need somebody left behind. So they've been activated, they know the shape, but they don't fight, they wait for the next time. That's the memory concept. If I'm learning, I know I'm specific, and I can remember what I'm supposed to do. All right? Make sense? Okay. So if that made sense, let's go through it one more time. This time we're going to do this one here. Remember we left off on step 5. We're going to turn on our B's and our T's. So we're going to do the T cells first.
The immune response from this point follows two paths, one using cytotoxic T cells and one using B cells. Normal cells of the body that become infected can also digest some of the pathogens and display antigen fragments on their cell surfaces. The body makes millions of different types of cytotoxic T cells. Each type is able to recognize a particular
More
antigen.
specific.
The cytotoxic T cells that are capable of recognizing the antigen displayed on the surfaces of infected cells bind to the infected cells and produce chemicals that kill the infected cell. Death of the infected cells results in destruction of the pathogen.
So you just killed your own cells. Why did you kill them? To kill what's inside. Remember that's cliche, you had to destroy the village to save it? That's the logic here. So next time you're coughing up body parts when you have the flu, it's not the flu. Where are those body parts coming from? That green slime? Where's that from? Your body's destroying your lungs to kill the flu inside of it. That's why it hits you so bad. So your T cells are destroying your body parts to get what's living in them. Right? That's like house-to-house warfare. That's what they're doing. Yeah.
Because it'll just make more. You'll make
That's right.
newer cells that are healthy.
That's the goal.
Okay.
So the virus would take over your body and kill you. We're going to kill the cells and then regrow a new body. That's
Kind
the
of like
immune system's.
chemo would kill it before it kills you,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah. So chemo, they just kill everything, hopefully you live longer than the thing we kill. Alright. So I'm going to kill the same antigen specifically, and I'm going to remember it. All right. So if that is true, which it is, let me show you something here. Where's that? Right here. Go back a couple pages here. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing. This is kind of a little cheesy thing, but it works. This doesn't have sound. But here is my body. Who's that?
Virus.
That's a virus. You learned that at 112, right? That's make that the flu, right? So the flu got through my skin because some homeless guy just sneezed on me on the bus, right? So it gets in there, begins to enter my body's cells. So remember 112, viruses inject their genetic material, right, like a little syringe. And now virus is entering your life. You are now assimilated. Your Bohr collective. All right, so remember biology 112, they take over your DNA, tell you to make RNA, RNA makes protein, blah, blah, blah. But here's the problem. That guy's in there making babies. We're going to kill you. So we need to stop that virus. The only way we can stop the virus is to let the immune system know he's in there. or she, all right? So how are we going to do that? What are we going to do after the virus is in? I think I better present the antigen, right? To tell the helper T cell what's going on. So I'm going to now present the antigen. This is not anatomically correct, right? But I'm going to take pieces of the virus, non-self, and stick it on my self antigens, and stick them on the cell surface. So I'm presenting this information. I'm alerting headquarters that somebody's in here. Bingo. Who's that? T cell. Look what the T cell's doing. What do you think it's doing there? Who are you? Who are you? Right? So the T cell's job is to come up and verify, what is that? Is that you or not you? Right? Is it self or non-self? Oh, okay. I know what that is. Must be okay. That must be you. Okay? Let's try this one. Uh-oh. That's not you. I'm going to kill it. Right? That's the law of the immune system. So here's the question. How does it know the difference between you and not you?
Memory.
Nope. The answer is your thymus gland. So T cell stands for thymus cell. So we're going to go to your thymus and look at how T cells know it's you or not you. This is not anatomically correct. All right? Good morning, Mrs. Cell. By the way, they all have T names, by the way. Okay, so if you read that, that means he won't accidentally see self as something else. In other words, I'm not going to attack my own body. I'm not going to attack self. From the thymus gland, you want to make sure that they only attack the enemy and not your own healthy cells. They only attack non-self. So Tommy's going to pass because he won't attack self by itself. Does that make sense? He won't attack things that are not me. So Tommy passes. Let's see if Toby passes. Good. Teresa? Good. It's Tara's turn. Okay, so what would happen if a T cell wanted to stick to self?
I
And not non-self?
Autoimmunity.
Yeah, you start killing your own troops that are not infected, right? So we'll talk about that for a second. So we call that autoimmune. You're killing your own guys. So the thymus gland is responsible for making sure that T cells know friend from foe, right? That you don't attack. And then she has a special lesson after school. Oh, I wish you could do that PCC, right? You didn't score! Bam! Yes.
So is the thymus just full of all of your body's proteins so it can just have all of them recognize it, or?
That's the assumption. It's hard to know specifically, but it's full of MHCs that therefore your T cells would not kill your own MHCs. Okay? So assuming this is not me, I'm going to punch holes in that cell. Right? So expand, expand, and usually don't. Now, I'm going to find anything that has the same non-self and destroy it. Right? Make sense? So let's talk about that autoimmunity thing, because that's an important thing for you future healthcare professionals. I'm going to put it over here as an aside. Shut your eyes.